Children, as you can see in this book, I have opened a chapter, Plant and Animal Tissues, and with the beautiful pictures. So I just want to show you. And you can see here, a multicellular organism is made up of many cells. The cells could vary from a new thousand, example Hydra, to trillions, example humans. If all the cells were to carry out all the functions of the body, there would be confusion. Therefore, the cells in a multicellular organism are differentiated to carry out a specific function. Here means multicellular organisms are made up of from 2 to trillions of the cells, right? Abby, these all cells are united together in order to perform specific functions. Each cells are capable to do its own function, but many similar cells used to group together in order to perform special functions, right? The similar cells unite or group together, then it forms tissues. So the similar cells who are similarly in the structure as well as in their function. So they all work together, live together. That's why this structure is called tissues, right? When similar tissues unite together for performing a specific task, so then they form organs. When organs group together for a specific task, organ systems it forms, and when organ systems unite together, then it forms an organism. So you can see how an organism is made up of cells, how an organism is made up of tissues, right? So what is the role of tissues in the formation of an organism? The tissues used to form the organs of the body, and many organs used to form organ systems, and then this organ systems forms the organism. An organism is made up of various of the organ systems, various organs, and all the organs are made up of various tissues, right? Here, division of labor is seen. That means cells are divided in further groups, and each groups of cells are responsible for the specialized function. So what is there? Key cells are divided in order to do their function. That's why it is saying division of labor. As you know, children, tissues helps in the formation of organs, organ systems, and then ultimately an organisms. So tissues are not just forms the animals. Tissues are also help in the formation of plants, right? Means plants are also a structure which are made up of different tissues, right? Plants and animals tissues differ in their structure based on the characteristics of plants and animals, right? Like plants are green, they do photosynthesis, so they have specially functions, right? And animals are autotrophs, they don't do photosynthesis, they don't have chlorophyll, they are not green in color, right? Second thing, plants used to prepare their own food. That's why they do not require to do locomotion in order to search their foods, to search their partners, right? Here, animals are heterotrophs. They have to search their food. That's why they used to do locomotion. So tissues are specialized here, which do not allow them to do locomotion. And in animals, tissues which used to help in the locomotion, like muscles and skeleton of our body. Hence, the tissues would have different requirements. Yeah. A little comparison we have to see here in plants tissues and animal tissues. Plant tissues are primarily made up of dead cells. They require less maintenance, right? They don't apply body lotion, powder. Animal tissues are made of living cells, hence require constant repair and maintenance, right? Means if they get damaged, so there is the need of maintenance by consuming the proteins. These tissues are rigid in nature to provide support. Rigid in nature means they can tolerate high temperature, low temperature. They can tolerate drought as well as flood. So they are rigid in nature, and yes, they provide support to the plant body. And they are flexible to allow greater movement. That's why we easily bend, twist, and turn our body, where these all things you will not get easily in the plants. As you know, animals as well as plant, they both are made up of specific tissues, right? The tissues which are usually decided for a special function, they are specific tissues. When you see a structure of plants, so do you think are they made up of one kind of tissues? No way. There are lots of tissues played their important role. Like here you can see the root which used to grow in the dark in search of water, minerals, and where you can see the shoot system of the plant which used to grow towards the sunlight in the light area, and they do photosynthesis. Means when you see root and shoot of the plant, just on the basis of it you can understand that they have different pattern, they have different tissues. So like that, many reasons are there that we will discuss how the plant form with the help of tissues. As you can see, I have tried to show you in this. Plant tissues can be divided into two parts, meristematic tissues as well as in permanent tissues. Children, meristematic and permanent, these kinds are divided on the basis of their divisibility. Yeah, like the tissues which are able to divide, they are called meristematic tissues, and the tissues which attain a permanent shape, they do not divide, they are called permanent tissues. For more information, just come to the words meristematic. Meristematic word has come from the Greek word meristos, which means ability to divide. Means those tissues who are capable to divide, actively dividing cells, and they produce more and more cells, are called meristematic tissues, and they used to be temporary. See children, what happens now? They are very young cells and actively divide cells, and the cells which has to divide, so they don't have time to store cellulose. Means they have thin cell walls, right? The cells which are actively divide, the tissues which are actively divide, they do not contain, they don't have time for consuming the stored food. So you will say that they have lack of food vacuoles, right? Means they have thin cell wall, no food vacuoles, and very young cell and made up of very young cell. And as they compare, when we compare it with the permanent tissues or other tissues of the plant, the meristematic tissues used to be small in size. See, they do not get chance to get mature, so as they grow a little, they divide and increase the number of cells, produce more cells, so they do not get more chance to grow. So we say immature cells, highly energetic, tabhi to they are dividing. So highly energetic, for it you can say that they have lots of mitochondria. Abhi, when we talk about the permanent tissues, so just whatever character you have studied here, or just opposite of it comes in the permanent tissues. The first character, meristematic tissues have thin cell wall, thick cell wall, yeah. They have lots of mitochondria in order to provide them energy to divide. No division occurs. Less mitochondria. They don't have food vacuoles. Reason? They divide, do not take time to get mature, so they don't use the stored food. They have food vacuoles, do not divide, need food for their growth, for their life, so they have food vacuoles. They because they divide continuously. So they don't have they don't have permanent shape. Yeah, so they used to divide, so they are temporary. A permanent shape, they are rigid, so permanent tissues have permanent shape. Yes, and last thing which I want to share, कि meristematic tissues are just a young cell, they used to get their shape, on the basis of the function, right? If there is a need of tissues in the root cell, so the meristematic tissues used to grow in the root area. Yeah, if there is a need in the formation of leaf, for the formation of guard cells, for the formation of flower, so they used to go and work according to their tissues, right? So means they are not born with a specific feature. They used to differentiate themselves according to the need of the plant. Now the first part of the plant tissues is meristematic tissues, but on the basis of the region where they are present, they are divided into three parts: apical, interapical meristematic tissues, intercalary meristematic tissues, and lateral meristematic tissues. When we talk about the apical means apex or tips. So the tissues which used to found at the tip of the plants, right? Or at the tip of the root system here. At the tip you can see here. So these tissues are called apical meristematic tissues. Children, apical tissues used to see if here the tissues will divide and increase their number, what will happen? They will elongate deep in the soil. Yeah, same way, if they are going to divide continuously and grow more, that means that they are growing the height of the plant. So it's very clear that apical meristematic tissues are present at the tips of the plant, at the top and pointed part of the plant, and then it helps in the elongation of the plant. It increases the plant's height. Yeah. Intercalary used to be present at the base of nodes. Before understanding the intercalary, it's important to understand about the nodes and internodes. Children, as you can see in this plant, nodes are the point from where a leaf grows. The base from where the leaf starts to grow, that point is called nodes. Here you can see this area will grow into a new leaf, right? So this tissues are called, the tissues present are called intercalary tissues. Nodes and the gap between two nodes, 1, 2, 1 and 2. So the gap between two nodes is called internode. This area is called internode, and the area from where the leaf originates is called nodes. Lateral meristem used to be present at the side of a stem or in the cambium of vascular bundles. Vascular bundles, I have taught you children, the xylem and phloem together called vascular bundle. They have the work to conduct, to carry the food or water minerals from one part of the plants to other part of the plant. Now to understand briefly, I have taken this picture to make you sure about the location of meristematic tissues in the plant. You can see here, apical meristem is present at the tip of the plant, which used to found in both the tip, in the shoot tip as well as in the root tip, in order to elongate and increase the height of the plant. Then this is intercalary meristem, and intercalary meristem, as I told you, used to be present at the base of nodes and internodes here, which used to grow into the branch and leaf area, right? And then the third part which I taught you, lateral meristem. As you can see here, lateral meristem used to present at the base part, right? And you can see here that they are present in the vertical section, right? Cork cambium and vascular cambium. They help in increasing the diameter of the stem. Diameter, as I told, the girth of the stem. Yeah. After the topic of meristematic tissue and its kind, the next part is permanent tissue. As you can see, permanent tissues are specialized cells to perform a particular function. And as the name is permanent, that means once they attain their shape, their function, so they do not divide. That means those meristematic tissues who lost the capacity of dividing, who lost the capacity of cell division, are turned into permanent tissues. And these tissues have a specialized function for protection and support, and can be the function of conducting of substances. So we are going to see the two broad topic of this. The permanent tissues are further divided into two parts: simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissues are protecting and supporting in nature. These tissues used to provide protection to the plant and support to the plant. These tissues are composed of single type of cells, means one kind of cell used to form the structure, the tissue. Here, when we talk about the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, so we have to study about its structure, location and function. In parenchyma, the cells which used to form this parenchyma used to be large in size, and their cell walls used to be thin. So the thin cell wall and large size of cells make little space in it. So one of more character you can get from here, that they have intercellular space. Abhi, if thin cell wall, so they are little smooth, flexible, and they provide turgidity to the cells by absorption of water. See the word parenchyma, the Greek word para, which means beside, and enchyma, which means infilling. These two words have formed this term parenchyma. Means in the plants, mostly wherever the space used to be filled by the tissues are made up of, filled by parenchyma tissues. They used to be isodiametric, which means that their cells used to be similar in shape. So the diameter of the cells used to be of same size, and that's why they are called isodiametric. Parenchyma and this collenchyma, this two, parenchyma and collenchyma, are the made up of living cells, right? So out of three simple permanent tissues, the two tissues, parenchyma and collenchyma, are made up of living cells. Here they have thin, smooth and elastic cell walls. As I told, thin cell walls, so because of this they provide smoothness and elasticity to the cell. Small intercellular space they have, and which is meant for the exchange of gases. Here, parenchyma usually present in maximum part of the plants. That's why it is said that most abundant tissues in the plant. Here you can see the different structure of the parenchyma. When we talk about the location of the parenchyma, so we see that it is mostly found in the non-woody or soft parts of the stems. Non-woody, which means greenish part of the stem, right? And see, wherever you will get the smooth structure of the plant, soft structure of the plant, there you will get this parenchyma tissues. So non-woody or soft parts of the stems, roots, leaves, flowers, fruits, etc. Abhi, all these structures of the plant need protection, and for the protection, this parenchyma, which is a permanent tissues, used to provide them protection and support. It is also distributed in pith, medullary rays, and packing tissues in xylem and phloem. When we talk about its function, so it is meant basically for the storage of food, because they have intercellular space, so they provide a lots of function in the plant. They are very useful in their various purpose. One by one, see it. Basically for the storage of food, as they store starch, helps in the slow transport of various materials through its cells or cell walls, provide turgidity to the plants. It serves as packing tissues. That's why I said most of the plants used to occupied by these tissues, fill a space between other tissues, right? Helps to maintain the shape and firmness of the plant due to their turgid cells. Waste products of plants such as tannin, gums, crystal, resins, this all is stored in this parenchyma cells, and when the amount used to be more, they used to shed it off. The plant's part which you used to collect this waste product, they used to shed off from the tree, and in this method the plants used to do excretion. Chlorenchyma and erenchyma, these are the two modified form of parenchyma. The chlorenchyma, those parenchyma tissues which contain chloroplast in them, so they are called chlorenchyma, and these tissues do photosynthesis and helps in the formation of food. They are present in the mesophyll of leaves. And this erenchyma, erentum has come from the air. So they used to made up of those parenchyma which have air space in it are called erenchyma tissues. They are mostly present in the aquatic plants, and it provides the buoyancy or helps in the exchange of gases. Like floating plants used to float on the water surface due to presence of this erenchyma tissues, and this erenchyma is the modified form of parenchyma. This is collenchyma. Collenchyma is called elongated cells, a group of elongated cells, and they used to be thickened at their corners, and the corners used to be thick. Because the thickening in the cell wall is increasing, the intercellular space decrease. So here you are seeing the intercellular space, but either they have very less or no intercellular space. Collenchyma, the Greek word kola, which means glue, and enchyma means tissue. So the tissues which used to play the function of glue, means we used to play the function of sticky connection. So they are called collenchyma. It is made up of living cells which are usually elongated with thick corners. The shape of the cells used to be long and having the thick corners. Intercellular space usually absent. They may be oval, circular, or polygonal in shape, and few chloroplasts are present in the cells of collenchyma. You can observe these various shape are there, and this is the different types of collenchyma. Location of collenchyma is found in the leaf stalks. Leaf stalks. Don't forget this plant stem, and from the stem the leaf used to attach on a basis of this attachment, right? So this is leaf stalk. So flexibility where is required, collenchyma is present. So here elongation where is required, collenchyma is present. So here it used to be present in the leaf stalk, below the epidermis of leaves and stems of herbaceous dicotyledonous plants. It is absent in the roots, leaves, and stems of monocot plants. So this is the important part, because question asks which tissues used to be absent in the roots, leaves, and stem of monocot plants. plants. Yeah, directly it asks which tissue used to be absent in the monocot plants. The answer should be collenchyma tissues. If I talk about the functions, so you can see here, they are made up of living cells, so they have living mechanical tissues and provides both mechanical strength and elasticity. It prevents the tearing of leaves, see, because they provide flexibility and protects the leaf from the air friction, है ना? So that's why the leaf do not get tear easily with the friction of air. It allows the growth of plants because the cells are capable of elongation, है ना? The cells grow long and long, so where it helps in the elongation of the plants and helps in the growth. Chloroplast containing collenchyma manufactures sugar and starch. Sugar means your carbohydrate, simple carbohydrate. So basically, wherever chloroplast is present, chlorophyll is present. That means there will be definitely photosynthesis. Formation of glucose will take place, and this glucose, if get excess, it is stored in the form of starch. So if we talk about parenchyma, collenchyma, so they are living, they do photosynthesis, they have modified chloroplast containing tissues. And the third category is sclerenchyma. This sclerenchyma used to be long and narrow and thick cells, है ना? If you will observe their cell wall, children, this brown one is the cell wall. They used to be thickest comparison to this two, है ना? Thin, thicker, thickest. And what this red lining I have drawn here, so I am showing you the presence of lignin, a cementing substance in this cells, in these tissues, which used to help in the thickening of the cell wall. So sometimes it happens na कि due to lignin the cell wall gets thicker and thicker, and this cell cavity, है ना, itself, the lumen of the cells gets what totally overfilled with the cell wall. So it makes it what, a very compact structure, wood-like structure, and used to be made up of dead cells. And these two are made up of living cells. Where we talk about sclerenchyma, so it is made up of dead cells. Thickness is because of the cell wall, and as they are totally filled with cell wall, so they are highly woody, strong, rigid, compact structure. As I told, their cell wall used to be very thick, so it makes them hard. And the word is sclerose, which is a Greek word, and this Greek word means hard, like your skeletal. The skeletal is also taken from the word like sclerose. So it is what hard structure. So sclerenchyma are those tissues which are hard in structure. It is composed of extremely thick walled cells with little or no protoplasm. Thick walled cells. So for the time comes the cell wall used to cover everything, and at the end they are dead cells, so they have no protoplasm. Cells are highly elongated, narrow, spindle shaped and dead. Here you can see this is longitudinal section. Now the longitudinal highly elongated, right? This is transversal section. Transversal section, as I told, if you will take a stem, take a rope, take any part and you cut it radially, so this section is called this section is called transversal section. And here you are finding their shape, structure. Here you can see inside this is what, lignin, and around it the cell wall. The cell walls are highly thickened with the deposition of lignin, and that's why they are called lignified tissues. Also closely packed like the tiles of floor without any intercellular space. Here in this, as I have already told, intercellular space less or no intercellular space and not at all intercellular space. These sclerenchyma can be divided into two types, fibers and sclerites. Fibers like which used to be seen in the ropes. Here, fibers are very long, narrow, thick and lignified cells usually present in the form of longitudinal bundles. So you can see the structure of ropes, you will get it. And sclerites are grit cells, stone cells, are irregular cells, also dead and develop in various parts of the plant such as cortex, pith, phloem, hard seed coat, etc. I have told the nuts have hard covering over it. So that tough hard covering is deposition of this sclerenchyma tissues. See, it is very hard. So it used to protect the underlying tissues. It used to protect the soft tissues and which is present inside it. So they are very hard due to that helps in the protection of the soft parts of the plant. In the thick walls of both the fibers as well as sclerites are present thin areas called pits. In this I can show you this pits, this thin areas which are present in the gap of cell wall. Basically gap of cell wall is called pits. Here you can see thickening, wall thickening, and this gap between two walls is pit. Cell lumen means the gap in the cell. I hope you have got all three kinds of the simple permanent tissues. Function of sclerenchyma tissues, as you can see here, they are mainly mechanical and protective in function. That is why they are used to found in the stems, roots, veins of leaves and hard coverings of seeds and nuts, just in order to provide the mechanical support and protection. It provides strength, rigidity, flexibility and elasticity to the plant body and helps to withstand various stress and strains. These tissues are found in manufacture of ropes, mats and certain textile fibers. If you will observe the ropes, mats, so just write the property, think about the property of ropes. It used to be durable, strong, rigid and very flexible, and that's why you can fold them. Mats, same. So when you will observe these items, so you will definitely understand about the quality of the functions of the sclerenchyma tissue. After studying the topic tissues, now I think you are able to find out the types of tissues and the different region of plant. For example, I have brought this part of plant in front of you so that you can easily understand the location of the different tissues. As I have told you, parenchyma and collenchyma used to be the living cells. They used to be present in the leaf. This leaf is, say, epidermis. So this leaf used to be protected hard, waxy coated because of this presence of parenchyma tissues. These tissues used to be present in the flower also. It used to be present in the green stem. Abhi to this stem is not green, but yes, it used to be present in the green stem as well as in the root. So here I have not taken the root part. It is broken from the stem of the plant. So means parenchyma are the tissues which are usually present in all over part of the plant, from the flower, leaf, stem to the roots of the plant. We are going to see the location of collenchyma tissues. See, collenchyma tissues used to be present around the xylem and phloem vessels. So when we talk about the flexibility of the plant, it is because of the presence of collenchyma. Here, if I'll show you this. So this plant is little flexible, right? This flexibility is because of the presence of collenchyma tissues in the stem. And here, if you can see, so the leaf used to be the flexible. That flexible. That's why it used to do the movement easily, right? And this flexibility in their petioles in the leaf stalk is due to presence of the sclerenchyma tissues, right? That is why these tissues do not allow the easily tearing with the strong wind, है ना? Tearing of the leaf through the strong wind. And if you will see the climber and creeper plant, so they usually coiled around the strong support, right? So in that also the coiling is possible due to presence of this collenchyma tissues in their stem. For example, I have brought this money plant, and if you see, these stems used to be highly flexible, and they can be bent in any location, in any direction, right? So because of the flexibility, it is possible to turn them, fold them, yeah. And this flexibility in their stem is due to because of the collenchyma tissues. If you will observe the stalk of the leaf, so this stalk basically, see how flexible it is, and this is flexibility because of the presence of collenchyma tissues. Yeah, see how nice. For the sclerenchyma, I have brought this rope to show you the tissues of sclerenchyma. See how rough they basically used to be dead tissues, right? It's very rough and almost lost the cell lumen, cell cavity. That is why they are very turgid, rigid. And they used to be present in the coconut fiber, the husk of coconut fiber. It can be seen with the wood fibers, jute itself, and if you will find the rough and tough structure around the seed, so that is also the tissues sclerenchyma. I hope you have enjoyed this video by observing and finding the locations virtually in the plant. Next topic is complex permanent tissues. As you can see this conducting word, this is the main function of this tissues. Complex permanent tissues is meant for the conduction, है ना? They help in the conduction of water and minerals through the xylem vessels and synthesized food, the organic food from the leaf to the rest part of the plants through the phloem vessels. So it's very simple. Because the word is complex, so we can write here, we can say it, tissues composed of more than one type of cells are called complex permanent tissues. Means complex permanent tissues are made up of more than one type of cells. As you have studied in simple permanent tissues, so they are made up of single type of cells. But here the types, the cells are of different kinds. Here, as here it has divided into three main parts. This complex permanent tissues have divided into two main parts, xylem and phloem. Xylem, the thick-walled tubular dead cells, and the function is transport water and minerals to different parts of plants. And you can see this is xylem vessels, which used to be here. This is porous structure, and columnar structure, which used to run in a column way so that the water can conduct easily from one roots to the height of the plant. And when we talk about the phloem, the tubular living cells, basically they both have four kinds. One of kind is living in xylem also, and three are dead. In the same way, in phloem, one kind is dead and the three kinds are living. I'll tell you about that also. Here, they provide passes for the movement of food prepared by the leaves. As you can see here, dotted lines are showing the movement of food from the leaf to the rest part of the plant through the phloem vessels. One more term I want to explain here, because when we talk about the phloem, so we should keep in our mind about the translocation. The term translocation means movement of organic food from the leaf to the other parts of the plant is called translocation. Repeating again, translocation is the process in which the organic food used to move from the leaf area, from the synthesizing area to the target area, to the other parts of the plant body. See, you can see in the picture, complex permanent tissues are divided into xylem, which is also called wood, or phloem, which is also called bast fiber. Right? Together, to xylem and phloem we say vascular bundle. Few characteristics of xylem: it is vascular, vessel-like, and mechanical tissues. These cells are thick-walled. That's why mostly of them are dead. Thick-walled, walled in the sense cell-walled. They are found in the form of tubular passes, and it consists of 4 types of cells. 4 types are tracheids, single cell elongated angular dead cells here. Tracheids. Vessels or tracheae, much elongated multicellular tubes. Here you can see they are made up of multicellular and they are vessels or tracheids. Trachea. Here, xylem or wood parenchyma, small and thick-walled, living parenchymatous tissues. This is only the living. That's why it is showing in green color. This is xylem parenchyma containing a nucleus, dense cytoplasm, and having a living structure. This xylem is carolenchyma. They much elongated fibers with thick walls and narrow cavities. The walls of them used to be thick and the cavity inside it used to be narrower. So out of 4, 1 is living, this is xylem parenchyma, and the other 3 are dead. Here we can see in this it is written, vessels are the most important cells of all the 4 types of xylem elements. This xylem vessels, because they have broader area, cavity, so it used to fetch water fast. That's why they are the most important cells. The rings present in the trunk of an old tree are the xylem rings, and by counting the rings we can find out the age of the tree. And as much as old tree used to be there, so their rings used to be more in that. If you have ever seen, suppose a tree is there, so if you will cut them like this, so this division is called TS, transversal division. And when you will see the wood, so here the wood used to carry the ring like a structure. This ring like a structure is formed because of xylem rings, and as much as rings are present in it, that tell the age of the tree. In 1 year 1 ring forms. You can count rings and you can get the age of the tree. Here, functions of xylem for the ascent of sap, and rest tissues provides the mechanical strength to the plant. When we talk about the phloem tissues, so phloem tissues are made up of these 4 kinds of cells. As in xylem tissues, you have seen that they are made up of 4 kinds of cells. And elements means the cells which used to compose these tissues. These tissues like this xylem tissues. So here, the phloem tissues are made up of with this 4 types of cells. The first type is sieve tubes, the second companion cells, third phloem parenchyma, and the 4th is phloem fibers. Basically, the phloem is a living conducting tissues. So the first 3 are the living, whereas the last one is the dead tissues, right? Dead cells, right? Here, it contains tubes like xylem, but it performs no mechanical functions. Means it do not protect it for the injury and all, right? Phloem consists of 4 element cells, as I already told you. Here you can see the sieve tubes. These are cylinder tube-like structure made up of elongated, thin walled cells placed end to end one cell, and just after its second cell, then just after its third cell. So it's saying it is placed end to end, and walls of sieve tube cells are perforated by numerous pores and are called sieve plates. Means at the end of the sieve tube you will get the sieve plates, which used to be very porous, and in this sieve tube nucleus used to be absent. on maturity as degenerate, है ना, they get damaged when the cells used to mature, but cytoplasm used to be present in it. Next, companion cells. So companion cells are thin-walled elongated cells present around the sieve tubes, है ना. They have large nucleus and used to control the function of sieve tubes, right? They control the activity of sieve tube elements. Next, phloem parenchyma. This greenish part is the phloem parenchyma. These phloem parenchyma are the thin-walled living cells. They store food and help in the lateral transportation of food, right? Parenchyma, so wherever we talk about the parenchyma, used to be very green, smooth, soft, and yes, contain food. Next, phloem fibers are sclerenchymatous fibers which provide mechanical strength to the plant. Basically, these fibers are the dead part, right? So here, out of this four, as I told here, okay, one is dead. The phloem fibers are dead and totally made up of sclerenchymatous fibers. As you have studied in sclerenchyma, they are used to form the ropes, mats. So here you can understand that they are the dead cells and used to provide the mechanical strength. I hope you have enjoyed the chapter and got it nicely.